Finally, we get to see a hero in action. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. Now, there's one really spicy list on here that you're just going to be like, Ritual Beast? There is no Ritual Beast list actually posted here. Like, I just want to point that out. Like, Ritual Beast did top this regional, and I would very much love to see the innovations that this Ritual Beast deck had, but it just is not a list that we have access to, which is just really, really sad. So this regional is full of meta, but the off-of-the-wall choices that players walked into this event to challenge the meta actually was pretty interesting. Now, we did have two of the Draco Tail branded variants, as you can see here. They ended up getting first and second, which is fine. But, you know, top four, we get to see some hilarious things. We get to see Hero coming in at top four, which, by the way, evidently this Hero deck is only worth $108.38, by the way. So I guess you can build a budget Hero deck now and have the deck work out. That's actually very interesting. We also had, well, Yummy Azamina. Are you guys really shocked to see Yummy Azamina doing things at this point? Because, like, I feel like Azamina Yummy has been one of the more solid choices that the meta's been kind of falling for. We also do see, yeah, there's got to be, I swear, wherever there's two Draco Tail players, there's always going to be one branded Despia player kind of bringing up the rear here as well. We also have an unaccounted for Gem Knight list as well. You know, right? The two spiciest deck lists from this event actually are unaccounted for. I would have loved to report on these, but they're just not here. We also have a Sky Striker Duelist. Actually, probably the most expensive Sky Striker deck I've seen post the entire deck being budget, because most of these Sky Striker decks are $100. Wonder what we're using to make this more expensive. Now, winning our event here is Mathew's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cookie cutter as crap Draco Tail special. Man, I want to be more optimistic when I look at these lists, man, but like, these lists just, ooh, actually, we're playing Albion. Ooh, we were feeling spicy today. We decided to spice it up with an Albion. We're doing the two Fenrirs. Yeah, the ring around of Fenrirs that you can kind of do. Special summon Fenrir, Fenrir effect, add to hand. Oh, hey, look! I have a fusion fodder that I can now use to capitalize and make some plays with. That's why you play that. Also interesting enough to actually see things like Pankratops seeing actual play within these lists. I don't actually hate Pankratops. He's actually kind of a cool little dude for these lists to be able to spot remove. I also see we are doing Dark Ruler No Mores in here. Dark Ruler No More being able to provide you with an immediate answer to some problematic things is kind of nice. Also, two Dragon's Mine and Solemn Judgment. It's really funny. You know, like, we lost Judgment, but like, Dragon's Mine has just kind of really found itself as like that replacement card in today's meta. It's actually pretty nice. Also, I see we're side decking the additional Mulch Army if we kind of need access to it. So this list, you know, is covering its ground and is doing what you want it to be doing. And of course, we have Harrison's version of this deck. Ah, boy. So we are doing one of each of the traps, side decking the Horn, which is fine. We do have triple droplets within the main deck as well. I feel like that's pretty normal. I see we're also playing the Albion here. Huh. Maybe Albion's just like the hottest new tech choice, and I'm actually just like, I've missed out on, because having access to that card to dump down and do some hilarious things seems good. But we've also got Pankratops 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's right. You thought you were going to want to play Fenrir? Nah, man. Bring down the Pankratops, hammer on the opponent. Works out pretty well. So, there's not a lot else to really say about this list in terms of like the saucy stuff. I think this is actually probably about the most interesting that you're going to get within the space, and, you know, like maybe ratios on the trap cards, but that's about it. Next up here, we have Sam White's hero list. And, oh, okay. So we are doing one Furnace, one Dust Crow. This is honestly fine. You know, when you start to like dig into the hero stuff, playing, there are lists that will play the second Furnace. It's not a bad card to want to play. Like, quite honestly, it's the exact opposite. I think that this card, you know, in certain situations does help, but it's just like, in terms of what Hero wants to do, you don't really want to go like too crazy with it. Same thing with Dust Crow. You know, play the one of, go and do your thing. We're also only playing 2 Stratos. I know somebody's going to screech about this somewhere because somebody's going to be like, well, actually, I believe that you need to have actual optimized copy. I mean, like, you're already playing over 40 here. You're already at 42 as it is. If you're going to put in one more Stratos, you're going to make the deck feel bulkier. And, like, do you really want to do that as a Hero player? Like, you already need this deck to be consistent. Like, you're just asking for dead draw nightmares, and that's something that I think players really need to understand. It's like, you know, sometimes adjusting ratios like this to get in like an extra hand trap or something is fine. I see we are doing the dead end prison guy here, which is actually kind of interesting with the Necrom. We are doing 2 vision, 1 of the other guy. I know a few people are wanting to cut this, but I think ratios look just fine on this hero list. Also, shout out to the Dark Angel, still seeing play down here. You know, even after all of this, you know, having the Dark Angel still be a card that you can access within this deck is pretty funny. Also, we are side decking 2 additional mash changes down here for you to kind of access them if you need to. So you've got some pretty interesting tools about your list. Next up, we have Azamina Yummy with Jack, and I do see that we are doing 2 Moonlit Chills straight away in this list, but also we're going with triple Diabell Star here. Having access to the Diabell Stars to, you know, access D-Mod and access, you know, Mr. Dark Dragoon himself to give you that key boss monster on your end board is usually going to be pretty good. You're also going to notice we're going with triple Pyre Map here. As much as you might like not like Pyre Map in this deck, honestly, Pyre's job is to help get you to a consistent end board, or to help you start a combo. Also, if your opponent actually hand traps this, you know, you're probably going to have a pretty good time. I see we're side decking our additional field spell. We have the Subversion to kick things into the spell and trap card zone if we really need it, which is actually not bad. We have Yummy Assist, which has been something that's been picking up a lot more in these lists. You know, this is just another overall good card to kind of help you out with what you're trying to do with this list. So overall, not too bad. Next up, we have Kio's Branded Pile. Now, once again, I see we're playing 41 cards, which is fine. But finally, a list that's actually playing the triple copies of the Fallen and Virtuous the way that you know you want these. We also have the Branded and Red checking in here. We are playing triple Imperm within the main deck so that you can kind of get the job done. We're also only playing 1 Incredible Ecclesia. This is one of those particular lists where I don't think you really want to maximize on the Incredible Ecclesia. You know, it's just going to be a little piece for you to be able to kind of access and go, which is just fine. We also have double Blazing Cartesia in here as well. You know, Blazing being able to kind of act as that little starter for you to kind of go through the hoops and access. It's also probably one of the more powerful cards that you have access to with the double Grand Dragon in here. We're also playing the 2 copies of the Towers as well. I do like the 2 copies of Towers. One for the immediate search effect, but also it provides you with a good backing for an incredibly strong boss monster to kind of help you out. Also, shout out to the 2 Dragon's Mines down here. And our last list is Elton's Sky Striker list. And I see we are playing triple Desires in this list. Desires is the biggest coin flip I see players like even looking at within this deck, because it's just like, you know, it's a good powerhouse card, but my god, it sucks sometimes. I also see we are doing the cross out for the Ghost Spell, something we saw Joshua Schmidt doing very early on with this list. I also see, because we're side decking the Thrust, we're playing the Spiritual Water Art Outweigh in here. Getting access to the potential hand rip off of the Outweigh is actually kind of an important tool. I didn't actually think about how important it is in modern era Sky Striker to like get that knowledge to be able to, you know, figure out what part you've got to kind of counterplay away from your opponent. And that does kind of provide a very important tool for consideration. You know, the different dimension ground is also a really broken card too. You also do see we are playing the MST in the main deck. It does provide us with another way to get another spell card into the graveyard while kind of rotating through those options. Also, you know, this does provide another way for us to out things. And also, we're back on the 2 Luminous Gates. I think the meta has shifted to the point 2 Luminous Gates is probably the correct call. So what do you guys think about another regional breakdown in the books today? Please, you know, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.